Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from this to this in your iPlanner. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sandy Cruz, and I am the creator, designer, developer for the iPlanner, and that's what you're looking at right now. Several weeks ago, I launched the iJournal bullet journals, and there were 4 different layouts. One was a graph, the other was a dot, there was a line, and then a blank iJournal. Since the launch of the iJournals, I have been practicing the method of bullet journaling and found that I really missed this layout for planning. I'm a creature of habit, and I've used this layout for years for planning. I like being able to have a bird's eye view, at a glance, see my week. And although I was able to create templates in the iJournal, in my mind, I was like, why reinvent the wheel? I was basically making this layout in my bullet journal. So I've come back over to the iPlanner, and this is the weekly vertical layout. There's also a horizontal layout, and then there's a daily as well. I use those also, but I don't use them for planning. I use the daily for my spiritual journal, and then I use the horizontal for my health and fitness journal. And I decided that I am going to just use the lined iJournal for strictly journaling, so that I am writing every day. So while I was using the bullet journal system, I discovered some really cool things about what I need to track and what I need for planning. And I've taken all of that and I've brought it over to my weekly vertical, and I'm still in a sense bullet journaling because I'm using the bullets, as you can see here in the left column, but at the same time I'm keeping it all very organized. So just to tour what I'm keeping track of, I found that I need prompts in order to remember to jot down what I'm tracking. So down here is what I'm tracking. This is my personal tracking. I use my monthly spread, which comes with all the planners, and that is 12 pages, 1 month per page, and I use that for all my social media tracking, all my YouTube video tracking, my income, my website, my list building. All of that is on my monthly, so I don't have to track any of that here. However, I do keep my appointments, and that's at the top of the page, so that at a glance at the top I can see where I have to be and when on any particular day. I can also at a glance just look across this column and see where I have room if I wanted to take in a last minute appointment or event. This is my focus section. This is what I'm going to be working on that day. For those of you that saw my video last week, I talked about the Pomodoro method, and I created a bunch of different stickers for tracking my Pomodoros. And I will link that video down in the description so that you can go back and watch that if you haven't seen it. Pomodoros is a method of timing and staying focused for blocks of time, and this little circle right here is where I guesstimate how many Pomodoros it's going to take me. And the way I work my Pomodoros is I work for 25 minutes straight, and then I take 5-minute breaks. That way I'm standing and I'm doing my steps, and I'm not sitting for long periods of time. And at the same time, during that 25 minutes, I stay very focused. I don't check email, I don't answer my phone, I don't look on Facebook or Instagram. I save that for my 5-minute breaks. Normally, I don't work more than 8 Pomodoros, and that would be 4-hour blocks. You can also fit in a lunch in between that 4 hours, or an appointment if you have an appointment, or something like that. Below that, I keep my scheduled tasks. Now, when I say scheduled tasks, those are tasks that are date specific. So if I have to pay a bill on a certain day, that would fall under this category. And then usually I'll draw a line here, and below that will be tasks that I'll try to accomplish that day. Just below that, I write a scripture down every day. And just below that, I write out scripture every day. When I journalize scripture, I just absorb it a whole lot better. And it helps my handwriting on the iPad as well. I try to fit just one scripture. Below that is my gratitude section. So at the end of the day, as I reflect on the day and then I start getting ready for the next day and planning for the next day, looking what I accomplished that day, something that stands out, anything that stands out that I just really over the top enjoyed or felt good about, I write that down. And it's very simple little things like how the weather was that day, or something new that I bought, or something new that I learned. So that's what this section is for. And it's really rewarding when you go back and you see all the things that you've been grateful for. You can go back several months. You can go back a year or more when you keep track of the things you're grateful for on a daily basis. In this section, I plan my meals for the week, what I'm going to fix for dinner. I find if I don't plan my meals, there's a lot of eating out. It's time consuming to go somewhere and sit down and wait for your food and be served and then drive back home. That takes up so much time. It is less time for me to fix something for dinner. And since there's only 3 of us, there are always leftovers. So we eat leftovers half of the week. Below that, I keep track of a prescription when I remember to take it. This helps remind me to take it. And I can also look at my week and how I felt all week, or how I feel at the end of the week or the end of that day. And I can see if taking my medication had something to do with it. The V is for my vitamins. And I'm a real slacker on my vitamins. But if I don't take them early, they don't get taken. Because if I take them later on in the day, they bother my stomach. Most of my days, this remains blank. Next to that, I'm tracking my steps. And the reason that I found it important to track my steps is because now that I don't work on my feet anymore, I'm doing a lot of sitting because I'm at the computer all day, designing products. I also take classes. I also teach classes. Developing the iPlanner is a full-time, all year round job. No sooner than I get done planning one year, I have to start on the next year. And then I also create stickers and templates for my website. So that's a lot of sitting, which is very unhealthy. Which brings me back to the Pomodoros that makes me get up and do my steps for 5 minutes. And I literally do steps. I walk up and down the steps that come up to my office. Below that, I keep track of my water. I used to do really, really good with my water intake. And here lately, I don't seem to get past half of my water quota. But again, by tracking it, it will help me to get better because it's keeping in my view, and it's a constant reminder that I need to be drinking more water. And then here, this is something that I just added this week. Well, I was actually doing this before, but every day in the morning, I weigh myself when I get up, and I just jot that down just to see if I'm going up or down, or I usually don't, but just in case. And then I could also look back and see what I'm doing differently, if my steps have decreased, if my water decreased, if my snacking increased, things like that. I also keep a food journal here in my planner, so I keep track of just about everything that I eat throughout the week. So that's it for my columns. Now, this section right here, I use this section to pretty much brain dump anything that pops into my head, or anything that comes up, or anything that I notice that I need to do, any ideas that come up. This is where they go. And then as I see time and room, and if the mood strikes me, I can lasso something from here and drag it over to a day. And then at the end of the week, I just lasso this whole list and I bring it over to the next week. So as you can see, since the beginning of June, this is the method I've been practicing. The first week that I started it, I just used ink and a highlighter. And here you could see my brain dump here, which doesn't change much here. And my bullets show me that I've carried it over. If I've started something, I begin the X with just one slash. And when I finish it, I complete the X. So that tells me that I've started cleaning out my inbox, but I'm not finished. So this is my completed week from last week. And then here I am halfway through this week. This Father's Day is just some ink and a doodle that I made. And as you can see, from this week to last week, my list has gotten a lot shorter. And I lassoed and dragged some things over to today that I want to make sure that I get done. Something else I do is I put a dot over the days in this month at a glance, so I can see how far along we are in the month. That's really important to me as well, because when I start getting to the third week, I start getting nervous. Another month is coming. I don't know where this whole year is gone. Something else I do is I keep track of the weather up here at the top of each day, and as you can see, there's a potential for rain every day this week, and I put the high and the low. And then since there was a potential for rain every day this week, I also put the percentage, the inches that was expected, which I don't know what's wrong with where I live, but it's staying dry so far. So you can see that I've used very little color and not a lot of stickers here. I don't do a lot of decorating. I'll change up the colors just for a change of pace a little bit, but I mostly plan for function. I don't do a lot of decorating. This is the way I started out planning. I've always been a functional planner. I've been planning since I was in the 3rd grade, and I started digitally planning back in 2009 when I got the first generation iPad. And that's when I started developing the iPlanner. And it's of course evolved over the years. During the first couple years, I think I gave away a monthly page. There were no 2 months that were alike. Every month was crazier than the one before. And this is what it's evolved into. And of course now it's fully navigational. There are a lot of ways to navigate the planner. There's a lot of hotspots. There are added templates. So it just keeps getting better and better. Okay, everyone. Now that you have seen my method of bullet journaling in my vertical weekly iPlanner, it's your turn. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you were inspired by anything today. I want to know if you learned anything today. I want to know if you have any questions. Post your questions and comments below, and who knows, I may answer your question with a video. Until next time, everyone. Bye.